Alright, good morning everybody. We're going to do a Oxford heated grip install on my 2008 KTM SuperDuke. Ignore the mess. It's just a one-car garage. And you got Loki and Muffin, my puppy mechanics. These guys are awesome. So anyways, we're going to do a heated install. The first thing we're going to need to do is get this tank bag out of the way. SW Mototech, highly recommend it. It attaches to the filler cap so it doesn't actually touch the bike. It's a small bag but lots of room for all my cables and shit for recording. You pull the little lever, and it comes off. Awesome deal. It's perfect for just daily rides or small trips. Here's all the stuff. But to start with, you have to, obviously look at what you got. The kit comes with this small bracket. The first thing I noticed is it's supposed to be on the clutch side, but my clutch side isn't going to work. So I'm going to go for the brake side. And obviously, how's it going to go? It's going to go like that. That mirror's in the way. Luckily, I'm getting bar-end mirrors here in a day or so I'm going to go ahead and remove that. But I am going to need to, it looks like, trim it just a little bit to get it to fit up next to the throttle. So I'm going to take care of all that and get back with you in just a few minutes. So just a quick update. I changed my plans a little bit, actually. I didn't like the mount they have, this plate that it actually goes on that's bent. There's 4 holes and self-tapping screws that go into this little plastic piece. I'm going to leave that out because it's super obvious. But I didn't like the idea of putting it here because it was either going to be this big square thing up here all by itself in the open, kind of, I don't know, it just looked cheap that way. Or if I bent it down, I'd have a big square. So what I did is I used a U-bolt and I've clamped it here, so even if I do take the mirrors off, it's still kind of hidden behind the reservoir. I can move it over if I'd like. Right now, it also lets me keep these mirrors on. So looking at the grips and everything, still a really cool kit. They give you glue, they give you some stickers if you need them in case you don't want to use the mount. So if you have something like a fairing you want to stick it to, your zip ties, getting the grips off is pretty obvious. You cut them, they're grips. If you're on a BMX bike, you should be a pro at this. You clean them up. I need to do a little more cleaning here, but it looks like on this side, this ridge here is in the way of the actual grip going on far enough, because you can only trim to, it looks like here and possibly here if I look at the instructions again real quick. Where are my instructions? Dun dun dun. Please hold. Here you go. Hopefully that's in focus for you. It shows you where you can trim, and it looks like with the sport version, the most we can do is the inside of this right here. And if I take it over here and I hold it up, let's say it just butts up against this, boop, it's too long. But if I'm able to move it in, then I can cut to that ridge and have it on the inside of that just like it should be. So I'm going to cut this part off. Just going to use some snips, and I'm going to go around it with the file and just make it nice and smooth. Glue it, shove it on. A lot of them show it being like this, right, so that it goes towards it. These are actually, that's left, this is right. So it's actually going to be over here, like that. So I need to make sure I leave enough cable when I glue it while it's wet, and I can move it real quick to make sure that when it comes up and around, it's going to have enough slack. Of course, it'll be down here, so the cable will be down lower. But I don't want to have a huge loop hanging down. Those are just things to keep in mind. You don't want to put it on, have it set up, and then go, crap, that looks like hell, because, well, they're glued on. So that's where we're at right now. So far, it's an easy install, other than having to do that, which was no big deal at all. Actually, I had some U-bolts here in a little bin. Hopefully that'll help with somebody. Alright, be back in a minute. Good boy, Loki. Alright, so I've already got the left grip on. As you can see, it's facing back. Oxford, that worked out pretty well. And it's here. I originally had it aimed kind of down, but what I noticed, because I liked the way it looked a little better, was I couldn't get to my flasher button for my high beam, and the clutch lever couldn't come all the way in. This is right next to the horn, but I can still get it. I'd prefer for, it's a little tighter. I'll put another zip tie in there later, but I don't want to put too much pressure on this line. right? You want to leave it so it has a little flexibility. On this other side here, I did cut this down. It doesn't look the prettiest. I thought about filing it, kind of like this end piece here I did, but it only has to clear this ridge on the inside. And I don't want to risk breaking or cutting it too thin or anything stupid like that, so I'm going to leave it. No reason to do it, not going to do it. What are you eating? He's always eating something, ladies and gentlemen. This guy, drop it, buddy. Loki, come on, bud. It's always something. Crazy dude. Muffin's a good girl. Alright, so I'm going to glue it and I'm going to shove it on. I'm probably going to face it back the same way because it looks like that's just going to bring the slack to where I'm going to zip tie it. So it'll be nice and uniform. It'll say Oxford. Everything's going to look sweet. And it's going to have plenty of slack. It won't interfere with my brake lever, right? But I thought we'd do this one together. As simple as it is, somebody might benefit from the help. Alright, glue, paper. Back up, guys, for me, please. Thank you. Lots of glue. Because the glue also acts as our lube. Okay? Paper becomes brush. You don't want to get super glue on your hands. Nail polish remover does take it off should you have a problem. Alright. Grip, meet, bite. Oh no! Not good. Mayday! We have a hammer. Plastic hammer. Don't go beating it with a hard hammer, okay? Something gentle. I think he's bouncing around, so we need to tighten that some. It would be really nice to get it a little further. Da, 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 da. Do we have anything? So welcome to my innermost thoughts. That's all rubber, that's why. We don't want to end up cutting into... These are the kinds of things you're going to run into. Maybe somebody knows something I don't, and I should have watched more videos before I attempted this. Maybe I'll have to cut this out. No? You don't think so? The people will appreciate it? Loki says it stays. Loki says it stays, it stays. Right, so that's on there. I'd like it to be just a touch more. But it looks like I can fit my whole hand. It'll be fine. The cable's going to run kind of up in here. When I zip tie it, so it's going to have plenty of room. Or I'll leave it here like this. I'll zip tie where my fingers are. And that way when I use the gas, it'll just rock like so. And that's that. This obviously needs to be tighter. Apparently the bar is not round because it's loose here and tight there, so we'll tighten that up. Maybe revise it later. But, alright. Be back in a few minutes when I'm a little more organized. As you can see, I now have my beautiful assistant Muffin. She's the head electrician in the garage. I have moved this side cover up here, this shroud. Come on guys, give me a little room. The reason for that is to be able to get to the wires easier. I also have a battery tender lead. This is where I can plug in to charge my battery, keep it on float, right? But I have an adapter to go from here to here so I can plug into my tank bag for all my accessories. And I got it longer than I needed, but I did that on purpose so that I can have more if I need to later. You never know. The cables for the heated grips are all here, and then you have the cable here to run power up to it. Now the battery is in this black box here. What I've done is there's a little plastic cover right here that you can pop off, and as you can see, the outside is our hot. They were nice enough to give us a little place to jump into. So I got 13 volts. The battery's good. That's great news too. But I'm going to tie my power right here, right there, and I'll have power to the grips, and we can try them out. I'll clean everything up a little bit while I got the cover off, zip tie things in place so it's nice and tidy. Loki is dying from lack of attention, and we'll be straight. Alright, so we still have a mess, but we've left all the covers off for now. Reason being, we're going to check our power connections and stuff and make sure everything's working before we put all that on, because it always sucks when you put everything back together and you find, whoops, I was too quick. So, as you can see, I have heat in my grips now. They're working. We'll go ahead and leave it on 50% for a minute. I want to see that they get actually warm and I can tell the difference, right? I'm going to go ahead and grab my tank bag, my power connector. I'll run that up through here. We're just go ahead and hook it up. Click. Let's go ahead and plug this in. Now that it's back on, I have my power adapter here. And let's grab this because it's just easy. It has a little light that comes on. That's what I was using. Stick it in. I have power. That's working. I have an adapter here. We'll take this. Mind you, it's a ton of cables, I know, but you know, if you want to run accessories, you have to carry ways to charge them. And that's primarily what the tank bag's for. I'm going to plug this in. It's charging. So I now have power and power, heated grips, power. In here, what I've done is I got the, like I said, the battery tender adapter. It runs into my bag. I have the 4 lead. I can't count. 4 leads. I have 2 more, so I can actually run. This is going to be for charging more or less my batteries for the camera. So if it dies while I'm out, you don't ever want to not have your camera going, because that's exactly when something happens. My phone, maybe I can have this coming to here, and I can plug a heated suit in. You know, if it gets too cold for me, I can be a little bit of a sissy. I will ride though. So there you go. Everything's working. If I ever need to unhook it, I can unhook it here, charge it. I can even charge it right here now at this point. Oh yeah, they're warm. Oh, that's nice. And I did notice in the instructions they actually recommend hanging this down. It's probably to keep it out of the way of your thumb, which I wish I had done now, because of course it's glued, so I'm kind of stuck. I'll have to learn to live with it. But super cool. Turn it off. Gonna go ahead and unplug my phone. Boom. There we go. All this said and done. Put the plastics back on. I'll go ahead and make that a shot for the picture or something. You know, I don't know. Now I'm just rambling. That's all there was to it. Like I said, I jumped in right down here where these little 2 things are. There's a fuse. It's a relay, I'm sure, for the starter. I already had the power here down into the battery. It came with the power battery tender. So tied that in. Now I'm much more set up. I have the bar and mirrors coming. I have a fuel filter we're going to be doing here in the next couple days with spark plugs and timing chain tensioners, so I have a little bit of a rattle. And then she's good to go, and we're heading to Deals Gap to the Dragon. Hope to get some good footage for that. If this helped you at all, or you have any comments, or I can answer any questions, maybe I left something out, please, you know, mention it. Give me a like, subscribe if you're into the SuperDuke. If you're into Muffin's pretty awesome. And hopefully we can get some more videos, and they'll get better as we go, learning my programs. But yeah, especially if you have a SuperDuke or you're looking into getting one. Muffin approves. What else do you need to know? Alright guys, next time.